So we're going to practice testing the power series for convergence. So again, there's a couple main steps. The first step is we want to do a ratio test. The ratio test allows us to establish the radius of convergence. And secondly, we want to do a test for the endpoints. Okay, so we want to test the endpoints to find the interval of convergence. Okay, so let's set this up. The first step here, we're going to do the limit as n goes to infinity, and we're going to do the absolute value of -1, n plus 2, x minus 4, so the center is going to be at 4, power n plus 1, n plus 1 times 3 to the power n plus 1. Okay, and then we're going to do that. It's going to be a big one here. And this is going to be -1 to the n plus 1. Okay, x minus 4 to the n over n 3 to the n. Okay, we want to know where that's less than 0. There's my main divisor. Okay, so setting this up, we want to group together our terms. So limit as n approaches infinity. Okay, we're going to end up with the n -1 to the n. Sorry, -1 to the 1. We're going to end up with x minus 4 to the power 1. I'm going to do the other terms in a different color. Okay, so we're going to end up do the n terms here. So this is going to be n over n plus 1. Okay, group those together, and then I'm going to group the power 3 terms together. So we're going to end up with 3 to the n over 3 to the n plus 1. Okay, so I'm just going to move this over to make this a little bit more symmetrical there, and then we're going to take the absolute value of that, and we want to know where that's less than 1. So we've done the rearrangements. We're going to maybe do the simplification here to see what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to have the limit as n goes to infinity, negative x minus 4. We know that's going to simplify to 1. Okay, this is going to be n over n plus 1. Okay, and the power 3's here, this is going to simplify to 1 over 3. Okay, 3 to the power n cancels out, and it's going to look like this. So as I let the limit go to infinity, that term becomes 1, so I end up with negative x minus 4, okay, divided by 3 is going to be less than 1. Now, the radius here works out to be 3 because I know that this term has to get to 3 before it can be less than 1. I'm just going to rearrange this to make it a little bit nicer. So we know the center is at 4, and we're just going to move that 3, multiply both sides of this expression by 3. And so we know the radius is going to be 3, the center is at 4, and so we can establish that the radius, the interval of convergence, is going to be from 1 to 7. Okay, so this is my interval up to now. I now have to test. So that's the first part. Did my ratio test. I've got my radius of convergence. I want to then test the endpoints for my interval of convergence.